The Budget Committee of the Vigo County Council is now in session. We are here this evening to review the budgets. Pardon my voice, by the way. The allergy season has landed on me. Calissa, would you maybe want to announce what we're going to do so I don't run entirely out of gas, in case I haven't already?
You're going to do the review of the binding units. The first one up is Vigo County Solid Waste Management District.
Solid Waste, Karen, do you want to come to the mic? This is Solid Waste, Karen Nasser.
Yeah, Karen Nasser, Executive Director of the Vigo County Solid Waste Management District. I kind of went over with you guys the last couple weeks ago about what we do up at the Solid Waste District. Our budget, we've made a few changes from last year. A couple of them are for our salaries and wages. We hired a new employee this year. We asked for the additional appropriation this year. The additional wages will be in this year's budget. We also increased group insurance. Our predecessor only had one person on the budget, or excuse me, on the insurance plan. This group insurance will have a family on there. We decreased educational supplies. We basically use that for our benches. We did quite a bit this year. We've decided that we're going to have more of a process when people request benches. So I still see us doing some benches next year, but probably not as much as we did in the past. The other thing that we changed was the special events line item. That's for our increase in recycling, as well as our township cleanups. This year we did 13. Next year we're going to do 26. So that increase will allow us to do those events that we have planned. Basically, we just shuffled some stuff around. We took some stuff away from our equipment line item. This year we purchased a truck. I don't see us doing any big purchases next year. So that's why we were able to move stuff to that special event line item. In fact, our budget is lower for 2022 than what it was for 2021. We get, just a reminder, this isn't taxpayer funded. We get all of our revenue from the tipping fees from Sycamore Ridge landfill. We average anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 a month in tipping fees. So I feel like this budget is going to be manageable. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Also, for the benefit of anyone who might be watching our streaming video, these entities tonight that we're reviewing are under the supervision of boards, and these budgets have been approved by the boards of those entities, and so we're just passing this along then.
Yeah, I apologize. Our board approved this in August.
Right, so these have been approved, and we're just kind of stamping them to move them along the route to the proper authorities. So I would entertain them. Anyone have any questions for Karen?
I was just curious because I kind of heard it. $20,000 to $30,000 tipping fee. Is that a month?
No, our low end is around 30. Our high end's 40.
Oh, 30 to 40.
That's our portion, and then just a reminder, the county gets a portion as well. But that portion that we get will allow us to do these events and everything on this budget.
Well, I like the community cleanup.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's really sparked up this year. It's a nice operation, and you've done a great job.
Thank you.
So I would entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
Second?
Second, sorry.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
I just want to let you guys know, we are putting a bench at the Heritage Trail. We were going to do it today, but weather got in the way. But today is Don Morris's birthday, and he was an original member of the Solid Waste District Board, so we are honoring him and Cheryl by putting a recyclable bench out on Heritage Trail. So I just want to let you guys know.
I just saw that.
Thank you.
The plaque's nice on that. I just saw the picture of that here. Looks good.
Okay, let's see, we have,
The next one is the Terre Haute International Airport.
Terre Haute
We
International
have
Airport.
Scott Craig and Kelsey.
Thank you,
My
Cliff.
name's Scott Craig. I'm the Airport Authority's attorney. Also with me is Kelsey Veach. She's the business office manager. I don't remember what all your titles are. This year's budget does, we do have a small increase to the Airport Authority's operating budget for 2022. Generally, just picking up some increased salaries, increases to anticipated insurance cost, I think are probably the two biggest items that we have increases in. The other thing that's a bit unusual for us with this year's budget is that we have a rainy day fund that we've been putting money into for several years. We have a project this year that we want to undertake, and so we were asking for an appropriation to spend about $250,000 to do new siding on some of our older buildings that we rent out to commercial tenants located at the airport. There was an issue, we've talked to Calissa about this. We messed up a little bit with our gateway forms and it won't let us change them anymore. Our levy is higher than what it should be, and we know that, and it's way over the max levy. So we've emailed Calissa with some adjustments that we do need to make to that to those levies to bring them. We know DLGF will just cut them anyway, but we prefer that we cut them ourselves because and Calissa's concerned, and rightfully so, that our operating balance isn't as healthy as what it would be, but we have a good history of underspending our appropriations for the year. That's how we built up our rainy day fund. So we were running 2/3 of the way through the year. We'd spent 50% of our budget. So we hope to continue that through the end of the year, which means we'll have a bigger operating balance than we anticipate. If there's any questions
Yeah, could
about
you,
specifics, Kelsey could answer those.
could you expand a little bit on that rainy day project that you were going to do?
Yeah, we've got 4 hangar buildings that we lease out to tenants that are right there on,
Right.
and so all of them kind of deteriorating at the bottom, siding, so complete side project
Oh, okay,
for all
reason.
4 of the buildings.
Okay.
So we are going to be rainy day siding, it's taking all of it off, putting all of it.
Have you already secured bids for that?
Not secured bids, but quotes, but once it's in the budget purely, then we will.
Okay. All right.
Is that what listed under, you said special projects then?
So,
The 240?
So it's about, the quote that we received, about 180,000 to do all of it. So we
Okay.
do half out of rainy day and half special projects
Okay.
in our general operating budget. So.
I was just hoping that maybe you would have solicited local bids on that. I was hoping.
I believe they did. I apologize. I had not seen the bids. I was just looking them out. And like I said, they were just quotes, basically.
We were just, I think we'll have to probably, given the size of the project, we'll have to do
Oh, definitely.
formal bidding for those.
Okay.
so you just have quotes to kind of get in the ballpark
We just
idea?
need to know how much to
and
set
not
aside.
formally bid it yet?
Yeah.
Got it,
Very good.
okay.
I will say we were wanting to do it prettier with stone and everything, but that was a lot higher. So we did go the cheaper route, with just all metal.
Okay. All right, well, no further questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
I have one more question.
Okay,
Yeah.
go.
So Calissa, with what they were talking about with the levy and things, can that be,
You can make a motion to amend the levies, like the levy of the rainy day. It should be amended to 0 because
Do we need to do 2 of those or just one? Amend the levy to 409 and,
amend the levy for rainy day to 0, amend the levy for the special airport general to 1.8 million.
Okay,
It's on this, it says on this other sheet, the second
Oh,
page.
this one.
okay. I'll entertain
Personal
a,
solid waste is the second.
entertain a motion to amend the levy to zero, to adjust the operating balance to 409,651.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I will entertain a motion to amend the levy to 1.8 million by reducing the operating balance to 373,922. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Do we need
Okay.
to say anything amending the
You need-
4B's forms that's attached?
That will be amended by doing that,
That's
but
what
you would
it
need
is.
to put it up to approve as amended.
Now,
Oh, okay.
need a motion to approve the report as amended.
I make a motion to approve as amended with the reducing the levy to zero, the operating balance of 409,651, and amend the levy to 1.8 million by reducing operating balance to 373,922.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
You are approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. We ready for Honey Creek, Melissa? Calissa?
Yeah, you can do, I think.
We
Honey
only
Creek's
have
next.
to approve, we
Oh,
only
yeah, we
need,
already went through and
we
talked
only
to
need a motion
Joe.
to approve this, right? Okay, Joe presented all of this at our
I
forum.
believe it was the 15th, maybe?
And so I just need a motion to approve the report for the Honey Creek Fire.
So moved.
Second.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
This report is approved. New Goshen Fire Protection District. And here she is.
There I am. So Carol Holbert, I'm actually treasurer of Sugar Creek Fire Protection District, but I also do work for New Goshen. So I'm kind of standing in for Joe Watts, who's the treasurer there. But I kind of do their work, and so Joe's still kind of new at the helm, so really not anything for New Goshen out of the ordinary for next year. We did take the budget up a little bit from 175 to 200. We left the CUME fund the same. To give those of you who are new, this particular fire district was kind of behind the wheel as far as their budget goes for a lot of years. They weren't really budgeting what they should have been, and so 2 years ago, we finally got them on track, and so we're kind of still in the process of bringing them up where they need to be. But things are much better there, and so we kind of just add kind of inflationary for operation purposes. We are going to be looking at purchasing a new fire truck up there, probably going to be levying a debt service fund, but that will not come until next year, and then it will be, we'll be budgeting for the 2023 year. Because that takes a while to get the debt service fund in motion and whatnot. So theirs is pretty cut and dried, just a minor increase, and nothing else significant going on there.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve this report.
Approve. I make a motion to approve the report.
And a second, please.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You are approved,
Next.
Carol.
Next is Lost Creek.
I was here, these were Prairie.
Okay, then nobody's here for that.
The only other one you have is Paul, and he's with Prairie.
Okay.
You want him, or?
Do you want to finish up with her and
Sure.
skip Lost Creek now?
Sure.
So the
You can
next,
might as well do it while you're here.
while you're up there, let's
Do
do
Sugar
Sugar
Creek.
Sugar Creek. That's the only one
That'll
you
work.
Is it, I didn't see-
Sugar Creek
is it the
last
last,
The very
oh,
last
last
one.
page? Okay, I
Right.
got
Oh,
that
you
part.
saved the last for best.
Shall be first.
Exactly, just for you.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are one busy
She's busy.
Firehouse, that's for sure.
So Sugar Creek, I also increased just a little bit. Unfortunately, at Sugar Creek, we are at our max levy. So we are kind of controlled by the property taxes we raise. So typically, our budget comes in a little higher than the amount of money we receive. But we have been fortunate and conservative in spending in the last few years, and so we generally always have a decent operating balance, so we don't usually get in to issues. So that one, we really don't have anything. We're pretty much status quo right now for Sugar Creek, which is a nice feeling. We just brought in a new debt service fund that started in this budget for 2 new trucks that we took delivery of last fall. And so we're going to be good on that for at least 6 years, because that's how long we run our debt service terms. And so we're sitting in pretty good shape there. So I anticipate our next few budgets staying pretty well in line. So nothing major going on over there. We are dealing with some of our full-time people, and maybe going to try and look at shifting some line items around to accommodate or, get a little more money for them. But that will all just be done within the fire department budget in the contract that we have with them. So from the fire district, we're pretty much status quo, thankfully, for the next few years. So nothing major going on over there.
Carol, are you able to keep your guys? Are you able to keep them? Are you losing some of them?
Well, we just lost one to Honey Creek, and we lose guys to city
I think lost it to the city.
Yeah,
quite often.
Honey Creek just to say, and they're losing theirs to the
Yeah.
city, so.
Yeah. It's kind of a tough area right now. I need to get, the fire chief, we've had a few meetings, but we're going to take a little bit harder look at this, because we did just lose one that we'd had for several years to Honey Creek. But, unfortunately, a lot of these guys, if they want to be career firefighters, the volunteers are stepping stones, and we just have to acknowledge that. As much as you'd like them to stay, most of them want to move on to the city or another, Indianapolis or wherever. So we always have that, particular thing that we have to deal with. But we're going to try and see if we can't, do some adjusting within, like I said, within the fire department. Basically, the fire department submits the budget to the fire district, and then, and then the fire district then submits it to you guys, which is just a contract for fire and emergency services. So we probably have some leeway in the fire department budget that we can maybe shift around a little bit, and it's just tough. Nobody can't hardly get any volunteers anymore. Nobody wants to do that unless unless there's some pay involved. But it's just tough for everybody. So, but yes, we are in a little bit of a situation right now, and I do think Derek is trying to look at some other avenues to see if we have any other funds available that we can tap into. But we, because we are probably the third busiest department as far as roads go. We run about half of what. So they're about 2,000. So
Are you including Fairfield City? Is that-
no,
who's
I
the-
don't.
who's
No,
the
I
busiest?
just outside city limits.
But who's the busiest?
Honey Creek, and then probably
Oh, Otter Creek is in between.
is in
Yeah, I live right by Otter Creek.
They
They're
might-
busy.
Yeah, we're probably pretty close.
Yeah,
to
no,
them,
and I taught
know.
at West Vigo, so I know that you guys are.
Yeah, we're probably pretty close to them, but those are generally the top 3, and then probably your next highest would be Riley, which is around 5 or 6. I suppose I don't know.
Lost Creek's
We
pretty
always look
busy.
at them, but
Are you guys not getting, I know for a while, especially having taught out there, and I live in the north end by Otter Creek, there's a lot of that family tradition of, are you not seeing that as much anymore?
No, we've kind of, we've kind of run out of that,
Uh-huh.
like you know, that we, at one time, we had a group of younger guys who was like that. You know, they were probably second, third generations. Now, some of that is those guys just, their kids aren't old yet, but some of them are, and you know, of course, they're just, you know, they're not interested. And you know, to some degree, that's understandable, because if they've lived with their father being that way, they know what that's like.
Maybe that's, yeah.
And they know, you know, they miss a lot of things, miss a lot of, you know, special events and things, you know,
Holidays.
sports and holidays and stuff like that. But no, we used to have more of that, and but it seems like we don't have any of that generational stuff, or very little of it. So then, you know, you're kind of drawing in from the outside. And you have some connections with ISU, and there are, you know, sometimes, you know, if they're majoring in health and safety.
Or and I know a lot of my students like want to get their EMT.
Yeah.
And so I've had a couple go like through that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And they have like, the young cadet programs there, you know, the young. But, and you know, I think they used to get out and promote that a little better. Of course, you know, with COVID, we haven't
It's
really-
harder, yeah.
we've not been able to really, you know, fire prevention's a big thing. It's terrible. I guess we're gonna bring it back this year in a couple weeks. But, you know, that whole week, you know, you can remember times when
Oh,
we'd
yeah.
be all, you know, at the schools and stuff. So the last couple years, we've kind of struggled with that. But you know, it's just, it just takes a special person.
It's a commitment.
So,
for sure.
yeah, it sure does. So, but, anyway, that's what we're doing on the west side.
Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
No, we're getting ready to. Yeah, we
They
didn't.
haven't yet.
Haven't
Yeah.
yet.
I got to yap.
They don't even
I'm
have a
sorry.
motion yet.
Okay, we will entertain a motion to accept this report on Sugar Creek.
So moved.
Second.
And all in favor say aye.
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 And that's approved. Okay,
Now
now
we're going back to.
Go to Prairie
Creighton.
since he's here, and then the rest of them aren't here. So you'll just have to review them
Yeah.
without the answer.
Now, you guys were talking Otter Creek, but we don't have an Otter Creek one.
They
They're
don't
not
have
a fire
district.
protection district.
Yeah.
Oh. That's why I just didn't see
Yeah.
one we were talking about. I just didn't see. Okay, thank you.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Hi.
My name is Paul Fouts. I am the new treasurer as of the first of the year for the Prairie Fire Prevention District. So, been a pretty interesting revelation this year. So, so this is my first budget for the department. So I'm still trying to understand how it all works from the department and the board and how all that works. So, this year's budget we actually have submitted for this year is slightly less than last year. Just going through and kind of realizing what the budget asks are. We are at our levy. So the original proposal from the department to the board was about 70 grand more than what we submitted for. They were wanting some new equipment that they were just going to be impatient on paying off their current notes. And so discussed with them, hey, here's where we're at. And so I'm being a lot more proactive with the department and giving them an understanding of what funds that we have to work with within the district. So that's pretty much where we're at. So,
How did they like that?
pardon? Well, no, I have been a thorn in their side because it's giving accountability to what they're asking for. I actually moved down to the district be 3 years ago, and so I've been on the board since May of 19. March of 19, and so to see what they've asked for, and now asking for them to give us that accountability back, just as responsible to the tax base. And so overall, in 2020, when the DNR took a lot of the river bottoms, out of personal and private owned, and then took it to theirs. That kind of hurt our tax cap there a little bit. So, you know,
Was it 3,000 acres?
somewhere in that neighborhood. It's a good chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chunk of ours, we tried to tell them, but you can't, you're not making it back.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's, yeah, they didn't, a lot of people I don't think realized exactly what that ultimate, you know, run is gonna be. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that influences over the next 5 to 10 years, within the
Do they
district.
select you every year? Do they select the treasurer?
So, yeah,
every year?
we vote for officers on the board every year.
You might not get that job next time.
Oh, no, there's nobody else that will absolutely take this.
Can't get rid of it.
Yeah. So, but as the board, we've been working on getting modernized and getting up to date with the things that really need to be there, with me uncovering, you know, what needs to be done from this particular, because our previous treasurer worked a lot with our accounting firm, Sackrider, and they did a lot of the stuff on our behalf. And so for me to understand what it takes from the actual position itself to make things happen, it's opened some people's eyes. So
What do you do for a living?
so I work in information technology. So, and I actually work outside of Vigo County. I work up in northern Marion County.
Jeepers.
Yeah. FOUTS.
That was close.
Oh, it was close too. Had a Z in there.
Do you go like
And
once a
now
week and then come back home, or?
No,
how-
I drive
You drive every day?
every day. Yeah.
That gas is pretty expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
I drive on average 1,000 miles a week.
Wow.
Mercy.
Yeah. So I could get a similar job doing the same thing here in Terre Haute for about 20 grand less a year for the same skill set. So it's disheartening.
Well, we're working to get some companies here that'll be paying some good jobs. So
That'll
we're
be great.
pedaling as fast as we can.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah. So does anybody have any questions of me?
How'd they persuade you to take that job?
I'm the only one under 50, and I know what a computer is and
Gotcha.
have daily access to it.
Oh, my.
So,
That's getting to be, Carol, that's getting to be a real problem, isn't it? You're gonna have to,
Well, you know, I actually met with Paul. Like, Paul and I worked together with another, not a government, not a problem, but, that particular area has always had some interesting dynamics. And that is not that tends to be more. But Paul, you know, I went down and met with him and kind of given him kind of our just first, you know, kind of just giving him a little heads up. He's making strides, you know, especially in kind of a lot of things we've done. As he said, they let Sackrider do a lot of gateway, that kind of stuff, which is okay, but somebody on the needs to have a knowledge for his, and where did they to see, so. But, he's doing some, and it'll be, we just need.
well, good for you, Paula. It's good to hear that. I appreciate it so much. Sound like you've got it cooking.
we're getting there. So I'm working on for other equipment and whatnot. We're trying to find a grant writer for us to help us with that, because that's a pretty big lift there. So
When you said you have a when you said you have a little smaller figure, I looked to be sure that it was Puritan that you were talking about.
Yep.
Good for you. That's wonderful. All right, well, any questions, anybody? All righty, well, I'll entertain a motion to accept this report. A second?
Second?
All right, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Have a good afternoon.
Good work. Well, and now, I guess we can
Go through the
sing
others.
and dance. Are we expecting everybody to be here? We got, or not going to be here?
Well, I mean, they're not here, so
They didn't indicate that they would not come or would come, either one.
I've not heard. Hey, Jimmy, can you check on the gateway reports? Because for some reason, there's numbers populated in the adopted column for Prairie Town. Well, I don't know, I didn't. notice that.
I'm sure Goshen probably isn't.
No, this is for a lesser amount.
Well, because I'm on,
Okay.
I bet.
You did, but it's.
I would have just copied.
Yeah.
Paul, did you do anything on Gateway or Miranda do that?
I started.
It looks like it was advertised properly. I just
I
want to
think
make
it's
sure.
advertised right. I think that, yeah, we need it.
Yeah, I just was looking at that. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Here, can I borrow this just a minute?
Yeah.
Let me show- Well, you said Miranda. So. So I'm wondering if-
Well, I'm guessing maybe it's coming from Form One. It's being populated from Form One.
On the Lost Creek new
Yeah,
levy.
But I know this
About the levy.
just seems like that's the,
Yeah, but see, Form One's 150.
yeah. It's like
But
there's
he's not high, that's not high enough, because the
the advertisement's
fire,
higher.
fire department was 380, right?
350, 351,
28,
380
yeah, 380's total.
but it was like there's numbers
It's like
missing.
something,
It's
yeah.
like second missing or
Yeah.
something. So, I don't know. We just need to
She
make sure.
had some trouble uploading, I know. We're doing a budget. stuff,
Yeah,
so
we just
follow
need
up.
to make sure that that's good, it doesn't create a problem.
You're good. Well, shoot Miranda an email and just have her double check that. Tell her when you come to council, the adopted doesn't match in the advertising. And see if we need to get on there and do something, or if audit departments.
Do we
They'll
just
eventually
approve
have to
something we
sit
need
there.
to address?
Okay, so, okay.
Do we need to
Good, and
address
it looks like
something
in this
else? or-
report that they're missing,
Yeah.
because it doesn't come up to the 350 something, or
Well, they don't
the
have any
28.
they don't have any
Hey,
product
Jim.
basket.
Yep, they don't, but they, what I'm saying is that that's supposed to be 28,974, there's nothing there.
Yeah, doing that special.
Yeah, so
You only
there's
have
that.
the- It's, there's the, that's special. Oh, yeah, it's like you're missing something.
There's missing something. Which one? Which one you looking at?
Riley and Lost Creek. You wrote a note on Lost Creek's.
Lost Creek, I did write a note on, and the only reason I wrote on Lost Creek was about the special cume fire. I mean, they didn't have a levy now, and I don't remember them establishing a levy. Jim, do you know anything about that?
Well, they don't have any budget for it.
And they have no budget, so I don't know.
I would say this is lost. I would say they're wanting to do a cume fund, but they've not done the right
But there's a process.
Yes, there is.
So that's why I was gonna check with,
Tamara gal?
I was gonna, yeah. Well, I don't, well, this is on their, notice to
Advertise.
taxpayers,
Yeah.
but, because I noticed,
They got anything on the Form 1? Yeah. Oh, that's different.
see, they don't have a budget listed on the legal note, on the Form 3.
They just got a levy,
They have a levy, so,
Lost Creek. Cume Fund.
the rainy day special cume fire, there's nothing, but they've got a levy in there.
They don't understand that they can't levy, they have to, my guess is,
But-
my guess is they never had a cume fund.
So they just added the fund? Is that it?
No.
Well, I mean, how do they do that again?
Well, they can't, oh, yes, I'm sorry, yes, they
Okay.
can add a fund in Gateway.
Oh,
But they can't legally add a fund.
All right, so
So
it'll
you
allow you
can't-
to add a fund?
Yes, it will.
Because I didn't remember how you
Yes.
had a fund like
Yes,
that.
I believe it will. But you can't, they can't legally levy for
Because
that,
they have to
because
go
they
through the
have to- You
process.
have to go through the process of establishing.
Well, I was thinking, well, unless this happened a long time, but I don't remember it in the near, in
I-
recent future.
yeah, I don't remember
Recent
them.
past.
I'd say the fact they have no budget, they,
I don't, yeah,
or
'cause
they
I mean,
haven't had it for.
yeah, I don't know. It just seems odd
But
to me.
that seems,
I don't know.
see.
But everything else is
They don't have
zero.
anything. Yeah, they don't have any
Zero,
operating-
and then
See,
they've
it's as
dropped
if-
it.
It's as if the fund does not exist yet. But they can't levy until the fund exists.
Yeah, they have to establish that fund, and unless they did it a long time ago and they're just now coming in to levy something.
True.
I mean, Vicky, because, I mean, they have to come before the council in order to establish.
Yeah, I mean, you've got.
And you have
public
to-
Meetings and everything.
and
It's just like,
I-
it's kinda like establishing a debt service fund. You gotta establish it.
You have to have
Set
public
the rate,
meetings,
public
an opportunity
meetings.
for remonstrance, all of that, and,
I don't at law school, and that, when Melissa and I talked about that, because the gal that's there now, I think, that would be back. But again, I'm hearing hubbub there between them and the fire department too, so. I wouldn't.
how about I check on this
Yeah, I
and
would
find out
check
what's
on
going
that,
on?
and I would-
I was kinda hoping they would be here and we could ask them. Next meeting. Well, we have questions, so I mean, like I said, that was my concern, because when I left, I'm like, wait a minute, something. Well, I don't remember Lost Creek coming anytime in the recent
the
past.
last, like,
Mm-mm.
So it could be like this. If it had been established, why were you not levying? So
Yeah, I don't know.
my suspicion is they somehow took it to it's my dad. And they probably said, well, we'll raise the taxes if there's procedure, statutory. Yeah,
Oh, well, even if you put it through DLGF, stop it in a heartbeat.
do you have any notes on the side part? So I just dealing with them, I can tell
They,
you
I
that
have no notes.
everything's status.
Yeah, you could.
I-
Second.
All in favor say aye on the Riley report.
Aye.
Aye.
And the Riley report is approved.
It's all good.
Yeah, the only one we have left is Lost Creek. We've got everybody else done.
Yes.
Yeah, the Golden Gateway, check that out. Right, look at your one.
So, how's the happy couple?
Push the button, carries it over to the full. One for. Because right now it's looking. And it looks like from this. So, I don't know. Yeah, you should. They had what? I mean, I don't recall them coming in and establishing a fund within the last couple of years, so I mean, because the last one we had was Sugar Creek. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't go through all the necessary procedures. Okay. I'll put a call in to Tamara tomorrow to find out, and then they can go back to this one in Monday's meeting. That should be it. And we got, there's
Sugar Creek,
report-
Negotiation, Berryton, Riley.
Honey Creek, New Goshen, Lost Creek, we're waiting on, Prairieton, Riley, Sugar Creek. That's it. So, I need to contact her. Yes, they're, yeah,
What come over?
Sugar Creek and New Goshen.
Because I don't think I've printed these yet.
That's the first time I saw them, but, oh, so look, see if these look right?
He doesn't. See, Riley didn't put any adopted.
No, I mean, I normally wait till,
Well, I
I
can.
mean, well, I mean, you don't have as many.
So see, I just, and I would have thought negotiations too.
You don't have that big of a budget, you can go back and change it
Right.
if you need to. Whereas when we're looking at ours and it's 91 pages.
Right.
You kind of wait till that's something solid.
I don't blame you. Well, because you have some.
It's toward, right after that. It was not me.
Yes, yeah. If nothing else in the system.
They didn't say. That's the problem.
This is- Yeah, I would.
That's right.
You know, just to be, yeah.
I know how you roll. I know how you roll.
So you're gonna email the gal on, don't offer.
I'm not going to because what, I mean, it's something I'll just tell her that we were looking at it and we have questions.
I mean, there's, it has.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're done. It's not gonna be. No. We know it's April. Because if you don't do your advertisement for the remonstrance, it gets stopped. Yes.
See the other one?
Why, what happened?
No, I
Oh.
don't know of anything. No,
Oh,
just said I
no.
didn't know if anything.
I've not heard of anything.
It's probably.
Probably is her. He's probably heard. They're coming. Probably. I'll bet. No.
All right.
I'm going to get a hold of a representative from Lost Creek Fire Protection and ask them specifically if they've established and, you know, and if they haven't done anything and they can't provide paperwork for it, I'm going to direct them to the DLGF to start the process of establishing a fund. Monday at 9, Monday the 27th at 9.
Yep.
That one you'll have to hold up, because they've advertised already. So
Okay. Budget Committee of the Vigo County Council is now recessed until Monday, September 27th at 9 a.m.
except for everybody else except.
Yes, it's for the rest of the county stuff.
See,